Hi everyone, it's me again. Web authoring. We're just going to mention a few things, make sure people are clear on designing websites. And in the second half of the class, we actually work a little bit more on designing websites and doing that. So I'm going to scroll this up a little bit so we have some room here to work. Website creation. There's a lot of different ways to create a website. Okay, there's all kinds of free services out there that allow you to create a website. You should have already created a Google site. So you can start there. There's a number of them that would help you get started. Then you can work your way from a free website into where you can pay for the resources to create a website, and they'll set almost everything up for you, and you just fill in. I mean, there's all different levels of that in which you can pay. You can even work to the point to where you do your own HTML. You type your own, you get your own server, and create your own web presence. We'll see a little bit of an example of all of that in the class. Website design. Why is this important? If I see a website with misspellings, errors, and any links that don't work, I question the validity of the site and I don't go there anymore. Okay? When you create a link, the links are crucial that they work. And so it's also important to collaborate, as you know now. Who you link to and who links to your site is very important in terms of searches. Website graphics. Good software that helps you develop your graphics. That can be very helpful in terms of how big to make them. You know, you can make a graphic too big and not even get the quality. Bigger isn't better when you're displaying it in the web. It isn't. So like Adobe Photoshop will ask you what you're going to do with this graphic. If you say you're going to put it on a website, it'll adjust it so that it's the right size for a certain upload. If you've ever gone to a website, same thing, I go to a website and it takes forever for the graphic to download. I know something's wrong. Somebody doesn't know how to do the site or whatever. Okay? How you lay it out in terms of how it looks and where you put your menus. You can see some sites, for example, the Google basic website, they go for simplicity. Other sites want lots of other material there. So how you lay it out is very important. And making sure it's easy to use is very important. There's all kinds of software that helps you create websites. I mentioned a little bit of that up here, depending on how much you want to pay. And who can have a website? Just about anyone. Especially if they're, is it 13? For example, it doesn't take much work to create Facebook. And if you have a Facebook account, you have your own little presence on the internet. You have yourself a website. Some people use their Facebook accounts for small business, or they'll advertise some business stuff. You see that all the time. So it can start as simple as that, or whether you use a Google site, a little more sophisticated. Wix is excellent. They offer low-cost start into websites. So it doesn't take long to find it, and just about anybody can have a website, even at no cost or very, very inexpensive. But design's the key, and then an issue that we're currently having, I think, this is probably maybe more opinion than anything else, is the movement of, when you get to a website, you can tell if it's Is it more about the info they're going to give you, or is it more about the ads? And paying for the web down the road could be an issue. All right.